可以的，一会儿看吧。
我感觉你说中文的时候，你特别的性感。Chinese Riz. Learning Chinese cured my social anxiety. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how I procrastinated for 540 days and learned Chinese. And if my dumb American friend can do it, so can you. Me. I'm your dumb American friend. I'm your dumb American friend. Okay. So, have you ever set a goal and you told everybody about that goal? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And then a day goes by, a month goes by, 6 months go by, a year goes by, 540 days go by. And you ain't done. This is normal. I did that. That was me. March 2024, I was moving to China. I had saved money for a few years. The time has finally come. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to move to China. I told all my friends, my family, and my coworkers, oh, you can keep track of all my adventures in China. I'm going to make a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm going to vlog. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I filmed, I believe, the first month. I filmed, leading up to going. You can see that actually on my other video if you feel so inclined. But finish this video first. Thank you. But you can see that on my first video. I moved. Yeah, I think I filmed like the first month that I came to China and I was so excited and I was like, got my camera. Oh my God. Da, 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 da. And then I just stopped completely. I think maybe I had even started editing the first video, and that editing project sat on my computer for a whole year. More than a year. I even bought a new camera. I bought the mic, the tripod, the everything, these thingies. And then I just stopped. And my camera sat on my desk. The editing project that I had started sat on my computer. I didn't do any of it. So, what did I do? Well, when I got to China, I realized I don't know Chinese. No, I knew that when I came. But when I left the US, I had like studied a tiny bit. I got like, me, you, us, but that's not really enough. I quickly felt pretty overwhelmed. So I came here to study at a language school. And the thing about studying at a language school is that there's a lot of different people from different countries at different Chinese levels. And I got here and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here that have really good Chinese. And my Chinese is almost non existent. Doing simple things like ordering food, going to the store, getting directions, I felt really useless and I felt like I had no autonomy because I had to rely on the people around me is silly because the people around me were really sweet and really helpful and like really willing to help me, especially my Chinese friends. But I am, maybe some of you are like this. Let me know in the comments if some of you are like this, but I am really uncomfortable with getting help. Giving help, no problem. But receiving help feels really, I hate it. So when I got here, I quickly felt overwhelmed. At the time, I had pretty crippling social anxiety. I think maybe I'll make a different video about that someday. And I kind of thought I would just come to China and learn Chinese. I didn't think about there's going to be people here. Specifically at my school, I mean, like there's going to be other people there and it's going to be like a school environment where I'm going to talk to students and get to know students and they're going to talk to me and I'm going to have to know what to say in English. I mean, I don't know what's harder actually, socializing in English or speaking basic Chinese. So about a month into being here, I stopped filming, I stopped bringing my camera around, and I just focused on my social anxiety and my Chinese. Because these were two like really big things I realized that were super important to me. Actually, the reason I focused on my social anxiety is because it was hindering my Chinese. If it wasn't, potentially, if it wasn't for speaking Chinese, maybe I would have just hid in my room otaku style for the rest of my life. But I was like, well, I am learning Chinese and I need to use the Chinese that I'm learning. And that requires talking to people. In a way, learning Chinese cured my social anxiety. Oh my God. So I realized I needed to get over my social anxiety. That was step one. Step two, get to a basic level of Chinese because I can't just live here and be totally helpless and like not be able to order food, order like or do like basic things that I need to do in my life and make friends. Most importantly, no, food is pretty important. So I decided to work on my social anxiety. This is what I prioritized. I surrounded myself with friends that I felt really supported by and comfortable with. And that led to better Chinese because once I was around friends that I felt really comfortable with, really comfortable making mistakes in front of, and I knew like, and they would make mistakes in front of me because they're like, if it's my Chinese friends, they're learning English. I'm learning Chinese. So we're just making mistakes in front of each other. And it's dope. And we get to help each other and grow. And it was so fun. 540 days later, I can say that my Chinese level is at a soft HSK3. I feel like I don't even want to say that because my Chinese, I still feel like it's so fucking bad. But I can get around. I can order food. I can have basic conversations and make friends, which brings me to the things I learned by procrastinating for 540 days. Maybe the first thing that I learned I can say is it's okay to pivot, 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 pivot. I got here and I realized I was like having a lot of anxiety and something wasn't working and just putting something quote unquote extracurricular on top of that, like filming during that time would have been too much. On my bad days, I think about the past year and I think, wow, I feel a lot of shame and embarrassment that I didn't do any of like the things regarding video work that I said I was going to do, that I told people that I was going to do. But on good days, I think, you know what, I pivoted and in turn, I achieved an HSK3 level of Chinese. And that's okay. Being heads down and spending the time to, because video editing can take hours. That was all time I felt I could be studying Chinese, hanging out with my Chinese friends, and just like sort of getting a grasp of the language. And I could split my time between filming and studying, or I could just go heads down full speed on Chinese essentially. So looking back on a year or over a year, looking back on it, I'm like, I can either think of it as I totally failed and didn't do anything I said, or I can look at the things that I did do, which was make a lot of good friends, both foreign and Chinese, get over my social anxiety, and achieve a more or less HSK3 level of Chinese. Let's recap on all the do's and don'ts of what you should and shouldn't do when you're starting a new hobby, starting a new endeavor, and don't want to end up like me. I'm going to start with the don'ts. Don't buy a bunch of equipment up front. Do build the habit first with what you have, with the cheap version of whatever you need. Just build the habit first. If it's content creation, use your phone. If it's music, use GarageBand. If it's language learning, use YouTube or free app or just like one book. One book will get you really far. You also don't want to overwhelm yourself with like buying a whole bunch of books for one language, but that's another conversation. Number two, don't make your goals too big, but do make them small and manageable and just least daunting as possible. If I'm just sort of abstractly thinking, okay, I want to be fluent in Chinese, it's not really helpful to me. If I say I want to be able to order food at this restaurant I always go to with my friends within the next week, that is a small manageable goal. If I say I want to be able to ask people about their hometown and what kind of food is in their hometown, that's something I can do within a week's time, like these sort of like week by week iterations, what is possible and what is realistic. The next do and don't that I would say is don't hate yourself. Don't hate yourself if you miss a day or if something is taking longer than you thought, but do learn from, well, why did I miss that day? If something took longer than you thought, now you know for next time. Maybe there was an aspect of it that you could have shortened, that you could have not spent so much time on, or just now okay, that's as much time as it takes. When you miss the mark on something that you're working towards, don't hate yourself and don't use it as an excuse to like not do it tomorrow. For example, if I didn't exercise yesterday and I exercise today, I'm already doing better than I did yesterday. You know what I mean? Those are the do's and don'ts. Those are the things that I learned from 540 Days of Procrastination. And I guess I might as well show you what I was working on during that time, which was my Chinese. Oh, 其实我想给你们看一个我的中文还不太好的视频，然后一个我和我的朋友就是一起聊天的视频，所以你们可以看。我之前的我，然后现在的我，好吧？OK。
骑电动车，
骑边
骑
骑
骑
骑
no 提 is 骑骑
Oh, rising?
a little bit 骑
骑
yeah
骑。我感觉它不需要吃 DQ 的汉堡，真的是
没有什么特色食物。
对，Burger King， 哎呀，真的一般般。
Burger King 一般般。
嗯，
对
哪一个是最好吃的？In and Out，
对，
但是可能你没听说过。
一定的。
So that's it. Tell me what you thought in the comments of my Chinese. Tell me if I know my Chinese sucks, by the way. Tell me if you have been in this kind of predicament. I know it's a very common one. Feel free to share with the class. What have you procrastinated on? Did you go back to it? How did it feel? How long did it take to go back to it? How did you get out of that procrastination rut? Were there things that you did that you didn't realize that you did during that procrastination period? Please comment in the video. I would really like to see how people have dealt with that. Also, low-key, just see I'm not the only one who's done this. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Subscribing is free. Did you guys know that? Subscribing is free. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video. I can't believe you're still here. That's crazy. Okay. I'm done. Bye-bye. Okay, cut.